Welcome back to the Marriage and Real Estate Podcast. I'm your host, Kevin Shelton, and my lovely wife, Aisha Shelton, back for our final episode of 2023. And we are so excited because we just finished 2022. That's right.
Yeah.
And we are so excited because we just finished our 2023 planning session, or our planning session for the upcoming year. And this is our 7th year that we've been planning. And we are excited because not only is this the 7th year for us, but it's a year of positive and healthy change going into 2023. So we're super excited to share some of the revelations that we learned in our conference, and also the ways that you guys can get out there and work with each other to plan for your 2023.
So if you haven't followed us for quite some time, or if you haven't followed us at all, you look back and notice that every year Kevin and I get together and we have this conference. We look back on the year that we're in and then the year that is ahead of us, and we make plans for our lives. And Kevin likes to say that we are the reflection of what we planned in this conference. And so when you look back 7 years ago, or even 3 years ago, the plans that we had, we put them in motion the previous year, and we just kind of build upon that. So looking at the successes that we have had, I feel like, and you would agree, that it's because of the plans that we made. And so is it CAP or manifestation? That's one of my words. Is manifestation, because we make these plans and God kind of ordains them. He blesses them and they come about. And so Park Street Homes and what you see today, K&A Companies, if you've been around long enough for Kevin and Aisha companies, that was Airbnbs, and it was education classes. I mean, it was a lot of things, all having to do with real estate, but not this streamlined version of the development and the sales side of real estate. And so we just refine and we just keep getting better. 7 years gone by, we can only just go up from here.
So and I don't know if this is the actual scripture. You can tell me if it's the actual scripture. Like, write it down and make it plain. You a PK?
My dad is the pastor of a church, but the Bible and me.
So you don't consider yourself a PK?
No, I am. I'm a PK. Biologically a pastor's child. However, I cannot quote and tote. I do not quote and tote the Bible. Right. But I know the verses when it's like a call and response.
Oh, I thought it was, so it's like make it plain and write it down. That probably is not an actual scripture.
That might be somewhere in there. It sounds so familiar.
There's a lot of people saying that don't make it a scripture.
But I can do, the Lord is my shepherd.
I shall not walk.
He making me lie down in green pastures. Okay, but like I was saying, I can quote it in a call and response. If we call it in response, then I got it. But no, yes, we wrote it down and we made it plain, and we do that every year.
So, the interesting thing, to give a little bit of backstory on how we started planning and how we started conferencing. When we first got together, you very much knew what you wanted your life to be. And while you hadn't started kind of making the big steps and the big changes, one of the first things you did was have this concept of designing your life and writing it down. So as you shared with me your vision for the act of planning your life, that became kind of the foundational steps of what became the K&A conference.
That's true.
And I'm forever grateful because our life is built on that foundation that we wrote down over these last 7 years, and everything that not only we've had, but the companies that we built, the people that we've impacted come from that vision that we set down every year and plan for. And it's kind of a sanctuary time for us. We go away, whether it's locally here or we do a 1 year on, 1 year off. So we'll stay in Houston 1 year, we'll go out of town 1 year. So last year we went to Oklahoma. This year we stayed here in town and got a nice hotel and really set the intention of what we wanted the year to be. And we always pick a theme word or a theme phrase. And for this upcoming year, it's a year of positive and healthy change. And that's too much.
No, I don't remember picking it though, but
no, we did.
I like
so we
it.
started off with, I'll tell you how we got there.
Okay,
we started off with a year of change.
Yes.
And then we wanted to be very specific and ask the universe for what we wanted. So we said a year of positive change.
Okay.
And then we both want to get super healthy. So we said a year of positive and healthy change.
So what I'm hearing is you heard these things and then you came up with this
Then
phrase and
I
told
wrote
me
these
that this
down in the notes that we took.
Oh, okay. So
So
Okay.
in our conference sessions, I do the writing
you do.
mostly. And then we look back on it and Aisha goes, oh yeah, that's what I like.
It works, y'all.
It does work.
It does. We've impacted, people that are close to us too. And as husband and wife, they get together and do the same thing. We certainly want to do this with other people. Sometimes it brings us into ourselves and we do it on our own. But I think there needs to be like us time and then time where we share this with other people and formally do this. I remember when Malika was saying, she was like, oh man, remember when you had us in your house and you made us all watch The Secret?
That was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago, but I mean, it's based
You were big into The Secret for a minute.
I was. I mean, and I still am. I still believe that, whatever God you serve, however you worship, or wherever you get your source of power from, I think that it just manifests itself in different ways. And so what is it? Sixth Sense? No, what is it called?
The Secret.
The Secret. The Secret.
Sixth Sense.
I don't know anything about Sixth Senses, guys. The Secret set calls
Sixth
it
Sense?
manifestation. I'm talking about in general.
Okay.
I'm not like that. I'm not that spiritually off. But the Sixth Sense calls it manifestation. Did I just call it a Sixth Sense again?
You did.
The Secret calls it manifestation.
There we go.
Christians call it, blessings. I mean, it all kind of says the same thing and has the same
Vision
message.
boards, all that.
Yeah, it all has the same message, but the only thing I know is it works. And however you get there, I suggest you do it and try it. And it's just truly something special about two people being in alignment and moving in the same direction. And that's what that does for us when we get the opportunity to conferences and make sure that we're moving in the same direction. And far too many times we see couples that, her plans are this and his plans are that, and then they set out for the year with these goals and these plans, and they do this.
That take them in opposite direction.
Right. And for us, we sit down and say, what do we want to see happen in our lives? What do we want to see happen this year? What do we want to see happen with our kids? And then we move in tandem, right? Because I feel like that's what marriage is two people moving in tandem to live the best life that they see fit.
Yep.
So it's what we do every year. It's a sacred time of year, one that our families respect as well. And so, your mom will keep the kids and knows that this is a time that we use to grow spiritually and financially and all of that stuff too.
No, and see, the coolest part about it, and I like what you said about The Secret, it's the act of intentionally writing down what you want your life to look like, that actually is the secret sauce. Because when you have to envision whatever those next steps are, it gives you an idea of what your life would be like, right? Yeah. So we go, and there's four components that we kind of look at. We look at the personal side, we look at the business side or income side for those of you with jobs or whatever. We look at the family kind of 5-year, 10-year goals, and then we look at the business 5-year, 10-year goals. And what that does is give us a good view of time is passing. So we know, okay, we got a high schooler now, but back in 2019, we knew, okay, we got somebody going to high school in a couple of years, where they're going to school, stuff like that. Now we have a 3-year-old, so we're looking ahead to say, okay, where do we want him to go to school, stuff like that. So for us, it gives a really, really front view of the things coming and also the things you want to come, right? Whether you want a new house or you want a new car, you plan for all that stuff. So you go, well, I know I want a new car by the end of this year. So not only does it open up your kind of chakras, I use chakras for,
that's the right word.
Maybe not chakras. It opens up your spiritual eye for that opportunity to come, whatever that looks like. Also, it has you looking out for, okay, what can I afford? What's the car market looking like? Like, it keeps it top of mind.
Yeah.
And I think that's the ideal goal, is just to put your goals, your dreams top of mind so you can achieve them. And the closer you get to them, the better your life becomes.
Yeah, and here's the beauty of it too. Like, you don't have to wait until the end of the year to do this, right? So let's just say you are watching this episode and it's like March or April of a year. You know, share it with your spouse and say, hey, we can sit down and we should do this, right? Do it now, and then at the end of the year, do it again for the beginning of the year. But I just think it's important that you put your heads together and that you make plans together, because two hands are better than one. Something about moving furniture easier with more hands. Was that you who told me that?
No, it was a Chris Rock joke. He said, moving a couch is much easier with two people.
Moving a couch is much easier. And so moving your life to the most desired place is much easier with two people. And so
that's a good analogy.
That's
I
the
like
benefit
that.
of marriage, right? And partnership or whatever you have, moving in the same direction with one person, you just are stronger and can go further.
And I mean, to your point, it also helps you determine when you're not going in the same direction, right?
Yes.
So for the couples like, hey, well, I plan on going left, and somebody's like, I'm planning on going right, and you go, okay, well, maybe we should get on the same page, because, you know, I want to go join the military and you want to go join, you know, whatever opposite of that. So you want to make sure that you're in alignment at any given time, financially, spiritually, personally, sexually, all the things that come as a part of life. You want to make sure you're in alignment.
And also, like, for those of you that aren't in relationships, I mean, now is such a good time, or if you aren't married, it's a really good time to sit down and talk with each other about if you are in alignment, because something as simple as disciplining children can be a big deal breaker, right? So if I'm like, don't hit my kids, and you like, I'm gonna beat all these kids because that's how you're supposed to discipline children. Like, if y'all can't come to an agreement, please believe that when you do have children, that's going to be a problem. Two people need to be at least in agreement. Now, you might not agree one way or the other, but okay, there needs to be some kind of middle line that you agree on, because that's the deal breaker. Same thing with money. Like, you have someone that's a spendthrift, like they spend money like crazy, and somebody that's a saver. Those two things are going to clash at some point. And so it's not one person has to be like the other person. You need to lighten up and spend more money and live life, or you need to stop spending all that money, and y'all just need to come up with can we live in a place that we both agree on, right? So I think that even before you get married, it's just and I think they do this in like couples counseling or something like that. If not, they should. If they don't, they really should do that, because that'll really determine if this is the person that you should spend the rest of your life with, because we've both experienced being in relationships where two people want two different things. And how much strife that caused, how it impeded our mental health, how it impeded our wealth building ability. It just didn't. Right. So I know I'd rather have two people with paychecks than one, two people with, thriving businesses than one or none. And that's kind of the benefit of being together.
No. I think that's the best part about it. So for us, as we sat down, some of the things that we wanted to really conquer is a check-in. So where we are mentally, emotionally going to the next year, a financial check-in. So where do we want to be? Where do we end up? We review our last year's goals. We review if we achieved the things that we wanted to achieve. If we didn't achieve it, what happened? Sometimes you have goals that as you get closer to it, you realize maybe I don't want that anymore. Maybe I still want that. You know what I mean? And then you can realign based on that. We review, okay, did we do so well as parents this year? Did we do so well as spouses this year? Did we do so well as business owners this year? And for us, it gives that balance to go, next year, we want to do this a little bit differently than we did it this year. And here's the path that we want to make to that. And then we get to long-term plan. We get to think about some of the things that, are coming up, whether it's life insurance or, aging parents or, a new house or things like that. So all these things you can include in your plan, and it can be as creative or not as creative as you want it to be. It's your life, right? Like you're just writing it down. That's the benefit of it, is the picture that you paint is uniquely yours and your family's. And that's the coolest part about it is, you know, Brandon Turner, actually, him and his wife do the same thing every year. Brandon Turner from Bigger Pockets. And one of the things they put on one of their goals, it was like a 5-year goal at the time they did it, was move to Hawaii. So they took a trip to Hawaii and they knew it was one of their 5-year goals, and an opportunity happened that they were able to find a property in Hawaii that the numbers made sense, and they ended up bought it. Now here we are years later, they live in Hawaii. And this happened way sooner than their 5-year goal. But if they hadn't have said, we want to move to Hawaii, we know that's in our future, and then got on that plane to go just experience a moment of that to see, they wouldn't have moved to Hawaii as soon as they did.
Yeah.
So, no, I mean, it's a lot of fun stuff that goes into that. So that's how we plan on wrapping up our 2022 is kind of being grateful and appreciative of all the many things that not only we've been through, but we've gained, the losses, the wins throughout the year, and reflecting on where we want 2023 to take us. And we're thankful to have you guys, and we're thankful for you to like and smash that subscribe button and that notification bell, and follow us on all the social media platforms. One of the things I want to take a moment to talk about before we wrap up is our plans for marriage and real estate for 2023. So you want to talk about some of those things?
Yes. So we obviously are really big fans of Bigger Pockets. And one of the things that we enjoyed and learned so much from was the format that their podcast was. And so in 2023, we will be bringing on more couples to tell you all about their real estate story and something that resonates with them. And so I'm really excited about that. We've had couples on the podcast before, but I think changing the format as Kevin and I go through all the transitions that we are in our business will help to resonate with more people, right? Because not everybody resonates with the journey that we're on, but somebody will certainly resonate with the journey that some of the people that we've had the pleasure of meeting and working with before, and those of you that we have not, that we would love to hear from. And so people, locally, we're in Houston, and nationwide, we want to hear about your stories and tell them on the Marriage and Real Estate podcast what plans you have, what plans you have had, and how you plan to execute them, and where you are right now. I think that deserves to be shared with the world. We are building wealth together. Yep. And there are so many other couples that are building wealth through real estate too. And we want those stories to be told and heard on the Marriage and Real Estate podcast.
No, and that's one of the many exciting things, is being able to hear more from other couples. We also want to see you. So we want to have some marriage and real estate events. So we're in the planning phases right now to figure out the intended events that we plan on having for 2023, as well as hopefully doing a marriage and real estate conference at the end of 2023 where we can get couples in a room and actually build wealth together. So that's super, super exciting. So more to come.
Oh, yeah. Breathing life into the Marriage and Real Estate Society.
Yes.
The group of people who want to be motivated and or already doing it and just want to be around people who are building wealth through real estate. Marriage and Real Estate Society is also an opportunity for that. So more details to come, but we're looking forward to 2023. We hope that you guys have a safe and happy holidays. However you celebrate. Happy Kwanzaa. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Hanukkah.
All that.
Some people celebrate
Festivus.
All those things. That's me. Doop doop. That means that's my time. It's been real. We love y'all. Peace.